the Big 12 has released the conference days for all the women's basketball games for the 2025-2026 season. I apologize for looking down because I can memorize all this stuff. We do not know the times or the TV designations for now. They're going to announce it later and all this. And I'll go over like what day of the week it is for those games and list of games and all that. Okay, December 20th is the first conference games. There's two of them. BYU at UCF, and that's a Saturday, by the way. And Kansas State at TCU. I don't know how good Kansas State's going to be, but TCU is going to be good this year. Kansas State just lost so much to the transfer portal and graduation. I just don't know how much of a step back they're going to take, especially after losing a Oakland. Okay, December 21st, a Sunday, the following games. Colorado at Arizona State. Texas Tech at Baylor. Oklahoma State at Cincinnati. Kansas at Iowa State. Houston at West Virginia. Now, December 22nd, a Monday, Utah at Arizona. December 31st, TCU at BYU. Arizona at Colorado. And that's all those games are Wednesday. There's like Iowa State at Houston, Cincinnati at Kansas State, Baylor at Oklahoma State, UCF at Texas Tech, Arizona State at Utah. One game on January 1st, and that's West Virginia at Kansas, and that is a Thursday. January 3rd are the following games: Arizona State at BYU, Cincinnati at Colorado, Houston at Oklahoma State, Arizona at Texas Tech, TCU at Utah. Now, January 4th, a Sunday, are the following games: Kansas at UCF, Baylor at Iowa State, West Virginia at Kansas State. Now, January 6th, a Tuesday, BYU at Arizona. January 7th, a Wednesday, UCF at Arizona State, Iowa State at Cincinnati, Kansas State at Houston, Utah at Kansas, Oklahoma State at TCU, Texas Tech at West Virginia. Now, January 8th is just one game, and that's a Thursday. Colorado at Baylor. January 10th, UCF at Arizona. Texas Tech at Cincinnati. BYU at Houston, Utah at Kansas State. That is a Saturday for those games. Now, January 11th, a Sunday, are the following games: Kansas at Baylor, West Virginia at Iowa State, Colorado at Oklahoma State, Arizona State at TCU. Now, January 13th, a Tuesday, Houston at Texas Tech. January 14th, a Wednesday, are the following games: Cincinnati at UCF, Iowa State at Colorado, Oklahoma State at Kansas, Baylor at Utah, TCU at West Virginia. Now, January 17th, a Saturday, are the following games: Kansas at Arizona State, Baylor at BYU, Utah at Houston, Arizona at TCU, Kansas State at Texas Tech. Now, January 18th, a Sunday, are the following games: Colorado at UCF, West Virginia at Cincinnati, Iowa State at Oklahoma State. Now, January 20th, a Tuesday, Kansas at Arizona. Now, January 21st, a Wednesday, UCF at Baylor, Texas Tech at BYU, Cincinnati at Iowa State, Houston at Kansas State, Arizona State at West Virginia. That's a Wednesday for those games. Now, January 24th, a Saturday, are the following games: West Virginia at BYU, TCU at UCF, Arizona State at Cincinnati, Arizona at Iowa State, Texas Tech at Utah. Now, January 25th, a Sunday, are the following three games: Houston at Baylor, Oklahoma State at Colorado, Kansas State at Kansas. Now, January 27th, a Tuesday, is just West Virginia at Utah. Now, January 28th, or a Wednesday, are the following games: like Arizona at Arizona State, BYU at Oklahoma State, Iowa State at Texas Tech. Now, January 29th, a Thursday, Colorado at Kansas State, Kansas at TCU. January 31st, a Saturday, Utah at BYU, UCF at Iowa State. February 1st, Oklahoma State at Arizona, Kansas State at Arizona State, Cincinnati at Houston, Colorado at Kansas, TCU at Texas Tech, Baylor at West Virginia. Now, February 4th, a Wednesday, Kansas State at Baylor, Oklahoma State at Arizona State, Utah at UCF, Baylor at Cincinnati, West Virginia at Colorado, BYU at Kansas, Houston at TCU. Now, February 7th, a Saturday, Arizona State at Baylor, Texas Tech at Houston, Cincinnati at Kansas, BYU at Kansas State, UCF at Oklahoma State, Iowa State at Utah, and Arizona at West Virginia. Now, February 8th is a Sunday is just one game, TCU at Colorado. February 10th, Iowa State at BYU, Arizona at Cincinnati, Oklahoma State at Kansas State, Kansas at Texas Tech. Now, February 11th, a Wednesday, Utah at Arizona State, Colorado at Houston, UCF at West Virginia. Now, February 12th is just one game, TCU at Baylor. February 14th, Valentine's Day, Arizona State at Arizona, BYU at Colorado, Houston at Kansas, Texas Tech at Oklahoma State, Cincinnati at Utah. Though that's a Saturday, by the way. Now, February 15th, a Sunday, Kansas State at Iowa State, Baylor at UCF, West Virginia at TCU. Now, February 16th, Utah at Oklahoma State. Now, February 17th, a Tuesday, Colorado at Arizona, Cincinnati at BYU. February 18th, Arizona State at Iowa State, Kansas State at UCF, TCU at Houston, Baylor at Texas Tech. That is a Wednesday. Now, February 21st, a Saturday, Houston at Arizona State, Arizona at Baylor, UCF at Cincinnati, Texas Tech at Colorado, Kansas at Kansas State, BYU at Utah. Now, February 22nd, a Sunday, are these two games, Iowa State at TCU, Oklahoma State at West Virginia. Now, February 23rd is just a one game, Kansas State at Baylor. February 24th, a Tuesday, Houston at Arizona, Utah at Colorado. Now, February 25th, a Wednesday, BYU at Arizona State, Oklahoma State at Iowa State, Texas Tech at Kansas, TCU at Cincinnati, West Virginia at UCF. Now, February 28th, a Saturday, Colorado at BYU, Kansas at Oklahoma State, Arizona at Utah. Now, March 1st, the last day of the regular season in the Big 12, UCF at Houston, Iowa State at Kansas State, Baylor at TCU, Arizona State at Texas Tech, and Cincinnati at West Virginia. Granted, I know it says all dates are subject to change. And the Big 12 tournament obviously starts in Kansas City, Missouri, like March 4th through 9th for the games, or 8th, depending on BYU. Like, if they play in the championship game, obviously you have to play the following day. We're going to have to wait and see what this conference looks like, and I'll go over like the preseason poll once it gets closer. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Course ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So my mind this course like video. Comment video really helps YouTube background. Some more people see us, sharing the videos as well. Some more people could watch. And if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well.